Okay, my people, what I'm going to show you today is the internal mastery system that you have all been asking me for. This has unlocked me over $2.7 million in cash collected. It's scaled my business to over $100,000 in contracted cash every single month. And it has also unlocked multiple of my students way over 5 figures every single month. And I'm going to walk you through that exactly today, how you can change your mind to go from who you are today to the version of you who earns the money that you want to make. So, without further ado, internal mastery system, because your mindset is the most important part. I'm going to show you something that I've never shown anyone. Alright, little 3 arrows, and this is me. Well, this was me. This is about, well, I was about 16 in this photo. I was about 19 or 18 or 19 in this photo. And in this photo, I think I just turned about 20. I'm 24 now. And in my mindset at this point was weak. My mindset was not believing in my own capabilities. My mindset was just giving myself delay objections, was just giving myself so many objections all the goddamn time. And what you'll see is that once I transferred my mindset, I became this guy. The guy who's in fucking sick shape, just stacked to the nines. The guy who's chilling on yachts in Marbella. The guy who's chilling with his boys in a €10 million villa in Estepona in Marbella. This kid right here, 16 years old, does 100k a month. This is his business partner and a bunch of other cool guys as well that I met, and now these are my lifelong friends that I all met from changing my mindset. Had I not changed my mindset, I would have never been able to achieve this, and I would still be this skinny little run over here who thinks that getting on it on the weekend is the only thing that you should live for. But as you can see, there's a pretty big difference between here and here. And yes, I'm pretty proud of myself for this achievement. And you should be as well, because if you're not already, you can directly do this by watching this video. This is what I wish that I had 4 years ago, because I'd already be probably a billionaire by now had I had this. Because your internal state determines everything, and by watching this video you will be able to transform into the version of you who makes the money that you want to make, who has the life that he wants to have, and who has the friends that he wants to have, and who can do whatever the fuck he wants to do in his life, just like I can do now. So, 2 very important terms to understand before we even get started is scarcity and abundance. I'm sure you've heard these terms floated around before. Don't click off the video just yet, because these terms are very, very, very important. So if we run through scarcity first, what does it actually mean? Scarcity is acting within arm's length. So if I reach my arm out, then I can grab everything in front of me here. That is scarcity, because you can't see beyond what the eye can see. You just deny yourself all possibilities of ever actually living up to more, because you act from frames of cautiousness and fear, because you always think of what you don't have rather than what you can go and get. But the mindset behind scarcity, as I'm sure many of you might have experienced as well, is money doesn't grow on trees, right? I'm sure you've probably heard that before. Oh, money doesn't grow on trees, we can't buy that. Parents instill this into us from a very, very young age. Not necessarily their fault all of the time, because it's how they've been raised. But we need to fix this, and I'll show you how we do that. Because when you have money doesn't grow on trees as a mindset, what that forms is attachment. The issue of attachment is that you have to be the person that you want your prospects to be. You have to be the person that you want in your life. You have to be that guy. If you want a cool motherfucker who takes risks, who makes money, you have to be the person that acts like that as well. So how do you do that? You act out of abundance. And abundance is very, very crucial, because abundance is acting and breathing as if everything that you can ever imagine is arriving. It's on the way. It's like you ordered it off Amazon and it's going to arrive, basically, right? Now, the 2 abundance mindsets that I've noticed over my time and my wisdom that I've managed to generate in this earth is like money is like water, flows in and out of your life. Bit of a dangerous one to have, because you can easily overspend and under earn, versus money is like air. Because do you wake up in the morning and think, fuck, do I have enough air to breathe today? You probably don't. At least I don't. So why would you think the same about money? Fuck, do I have enough money for this? Fuck, do I have enough money for this? No. So how you can do this is you can go and get £100 out at the cash point, go and get yourself a £1,500 credit card, easy to apply for, and get some and stack some cash. Now let's say you save up 2k, you got £1,500 on the credit card, you got £100 in cash, you've got money in all forms. Money is like air. Whenever you need it, it's available. So it's very important just to actually have the physical components as well. And if you don't have those, then go and get them, because they are not difficult to get. Again, this is acting out of abundance. Acting as if you can go and get what you need to go and get. This is going to form detachment. The key thing about detachment is that when you're detached from an outcome, it typically arrives to you. How many times in your life have you been attached to an outcome and that outcome has served you? How many times do you think, fuck, I really, really want this, and you've actually got it? Probably very few times. How many times have you detached and been like, do you know what, I don't care what happens as long as I put in the work every single day to get there? How many times have you got the outcome now? If you've never put in the work, then you can probably say never. But for those of you who have, then you know exactly what I mean with this. So how do we dive into it then? Because to be the person that you want in your life, this means that you have to challenge yourself on everything that you do. It comes down to 4 parts. The first one you have to understand, and I want you to write this down with a pen and paper. If you need to pause this video, then pause it now and go and get one. First one, What do you procrastinate on? List it out. Minimum 3 things. Because we all procrastinate on some things. I procrastinated on filming this YouTube video, and that's why it's 2:48 a.m. in the morning right now. So what I procrastinate on sometimes is filming content, right? Then you need to ask yourself, well, what mindset do you have on taking risks? When you're at the edge of the cliff, do you look over the edge of the cliff and think, fucking Jesus Christ, that's fucking high? Or are you the type of person to take 3 steps back, 1 big deep breath, send it off the fucking cliff? Which person are you? Because the mindset that you have on taking risk is going to be mirrored in the people that you have around you. How do you get through failure? Very interesting one. What impact does failure have on your life? Does it drive you forward or does it hold you back? Do you see failure as a negative or do you see failure as an opportunity to push forward? Because at each point that you fail, most people quit. And so the key thing to recognize is that failure does not happen in continuation. Failure only happens when you stop. When you go to the gym and you're pushing a weight and you're in that last rep. Can you fail if you've got 2 more reps left? No, because that's not at failure. So failure only happens when you stop. So you can't fail if you don't stop, basically. So what you want to understand is, how do you get through failure? Do you overcome it? Do you learn and progress and review what you did wrong and reflect and push forward? Or do you sit there and feel sorry for yourself because you failed, it didn't go to plan or whatever, because nothing ever really goes to plan? What do you do? Write it down. What about your mindset needs to change? This is the biggest challenge, and we'll touch on this in a sec in more detail. So what about your mindset actually needs to change in order for you to get the result that you want? Because then if we zoom out and we go down here, is because whatever mindset you want your prospects to have, you need to have exactly the same. Whatever mindset you want people to have around you in your life, you need to have exactly the same. Because you only attract what you are, not what you want. What a bar that is. Especially in regards to sales and high ticket sales specifically. Sales is the law of the mirror, meaning how you act reflects in your tonality, reflects how you speak, reflects in how you carry yourself. It reflects in everything. So if you don't do what you say you're going to do, then people will not come and act and do something that they don't want to do if you're not doing it. Same thing in life, right? If you're not doing what you say you're going to do, the people around you are not going to respect you. The people around you will have as much respect for you as you want them to. And that's because you're not going to have as much respect for yourself as you know that you can. So as a default, other people aren't going to respect you. It's a prime example. Everything is a mirror of who you are. So the more you improve yourself, the more you're able to attract a better outcome in your life. So as we scroll down in this beautifully presented flowchart, this high ticket sales game is not for pretenders. So if you're a pretender, it's probably not for you, but this video will be helpful for you regardless. It's not for pretenders. It's really not. This game is for true fucking action takers. That's what separates a 5k a month closer to a 20k a month closer to a 30k a month closer to a 50k a month closer. How do I know? Because I've seen it all. Myself, personally, I've hit 25k in commissions in one single month. It was slightly under, it was 24.8. I've seen people go $50,000 months in commissions. I've seen people go even higher, $60,000 a month in commissions, and they are not pretenders. They are lethal, savage motherfucker. So boom, it's time to evolve, motherfucker. It's time to go from this chimp motherfucker to the full-grown fucking warrior man who's ready to fucking kill, basically. That's who you need to become. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this in the next 2 seconds. So this is me. This is the 1.0 Jack. The little fucking mad seshead who just didn't give a fuck about anything and just wanted to stimulate his life and escape from everything, right? This guy weighed less than 50 kilos, probably slept for only 5 nights of the week. was a mess head, complete mess head. So you have to understand and ask yourself these questions, right? What beliefs does the 1.0 version of me have around money and success? Write them down, please. It's really going to help you. Number 2, the 1.0 version of you, what type of actions does he take? Does he take bold and courageous actions, or does he take scared and fearful actions? Why does he take those type of actions? Because the likelihood is, well, if you knew that you'd be successful with the actions that you want to take, would you do it? Yeah, you probably would. So that means then that the only thing stopping you is what? The fact that you feel you are not going to be successful. And that's normal, right? So what you have to understand is those actions are coming from a frame of fear. They're coming from a frame of uncertainty, a frame of scarcity. So then you have to understand as well, okay, the 1.0 version of you, how does he act in difficult situations? Or she? How does he act or how does she act under pressure? When you're on the edge of the cliff, how does that person behave? And is that a person that you actually want to be? Is this version of you, is the equivalent of this version of you, is that a person that you want to be? If this is you right now, although he's somewhat handsome, but still a massive mess head, is that a version of you that you actually want to be? The version of you who has led you to where you are today. You might think, I'm not in a bad position, but are you in the position that you want to be? Because would you agree or disagree that your actions and your behaviors and your decisions have led you to where you are today? Okay, and if that's the case, those same actions and behaviors and decisions have led you to where you are today, and you're not 100% happy with the life that you have right now, in what way does it make sense to continue making the same actions that's going to create the same outcome and the same decision making? Doesn't even make sense to you, does it? Big breakthrough that I had, so I'd like to share it with you. Why is he holding himself back? Why is this version of you holding himself back? What is making him hold himself back? Why is he doing that? You might say, I don't know. I don't know why. But you do fucking know. I promise you do. Because would you agree or disagree that you do know the answer? It's just about finding the answer. Because if you would agree with that, and you like a bit of philosophy, then you know the answer. Because if you always tell yourself that you don't know, and that's the reason as to why you don't know, then telling yourself that you don't know is not finding the problem, is it? It's actually just pushing the problem further away. So go and find the fucking problem. So this version of you then, the fucking version of you who earns 50, 60, 70, $100,000 a month, $10,000 a month, whatever your goal is, how are his beliefs different to who you are today? For example, this version of Jack here, his beliefs are way different to this one. This one didn't even believe in himself that he could do anything more than a 9 to 5. This version of Jack believes that he can go on to scale to $1 million every single month. So in what way does the 2.0 version of you see the world differently to who you are today? How is their perception on the world different? How would they approach things differently? And why do they see things in a different way? If you need to replay that last bit, then do it. What are the actions that he needs to take that you're not taking right now? Because that is fucking crucial. When you understand that, boom, you're in a much better position. Because then you can start to take the actions of the version of you that you want to become. What internally does the 2.0 version of you not have anymore? What has he removed? What does he not let get in the way of his actions internally? Because if you say time, money, knowledge, then you're also externalizing that. Because the 2.0 version of you, would they put that on an external excuse? Would they? Would they? Are you sure? Think about it as well. Like, what type of energy does this motherfucker have? Like, what type of energy does that version of you actually have? What's his thinking process? How, when you meet him, how do you feel around him? Are you like, this guy's a badass motherfucker? You know, when you listen to David Goggins, you think, yo, he's a gritty motherfucker. You know he would go to war and he would murder anyone. Do you want to be that gritty? Do you want to be that fucking guy who just gets up and fucking does shit? You want to be him? Because you fucking can be. But you need to understand what type of fucking energy he has, okay? So, what no longer holds him back? What did he have to overcome internally to become that version? This is how you master yourself, because every day you can ask yourself this. It's an ever-evolving process. That's the beauty of it. And the deeper questions you ask yourself, the more progress you'll make. You can literally quantum fucking jump from 5k a month to 10k a month to 20k a month to 50k a month to 100k a month, and it literally happens like boom, 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 boom. But it happens as quick as you want it to happen. It doesn't happen faster than that. If you tell yourself it's going to take a long time, I promise you it's going to take a long time, motherfucker. So after looking at this, you now need to ask yourself the following questions. How much is it costing you not to level up? You can look at this in two different ways. Fuck the money. The money is irrelevant. Like, genuinely, what type of life is it costing you not to level up? First of all. Second of all, what kind of money is it actually costing you? Because at the end of the day, those two photos, they're 8 years apart. 8 years, motherfucker. So if you look at that, right, when I was 16, had I taken a step 18 months later, I'd be on pace to do $1.2 million in a year. Then ultimately, I've cost myself 1.2 million times 6.5, which is fucking like $7.5 million. My fucking heart. It hurts. It hurts to acknowledge that. And like, I'm laughing just for the banter, but like, it's genuinely not funny, because I could be $7 million richer had I done that when I was fucking 16. And now I'm 24. Okay, I'm seeing a better side to life, but I'm nowhere near where I could be had I let go of that. So when you look at it, how much is it costing you? How much money are you losing every single month by not being the man that you want to be? Who is suffering because of that? You, your family, the people that you love and care about around you. Are you willing to accept that as a life any longer? Because if you look at that, how would your life be different right now if you had the money that you've been missing out on for the last fucking 7 years? How would it be different, G? Because I promise you it fucking would be. Oh, Jack, the money's not important. Yes, it fucking is. Because if the money wasn't important, you go and sort out a charity, mate. You go and build a charity, or you go and do volunteer work. And if you do volunteer work, fair play. But I imagine that you wouldn't want to get into something like high ticket sales or master your mind if you were just into not making money. Because the whole point of it is to master your mind, to master yourself, to make the money, to live the life that you want to live, right? It's not materialism. It's fucking fact, bro. But now you have a choice, motherfucker. You can either become the man that you want to be, live the life that you fucking want to live, or you continue to settle for the same life that you're not happy with. You continue to settle for less than you're capable of achieving, and you never actually take the step of the man that you want to be. And that idea just fucking eats you alive for the rest of your life, G. Is that something that you want? Probably not. If you want this full Miro board, then go drop me a follow on Instagram and I'll send it over to you for free in the DMs. If you DM me the word mastery, I'll send it over to you. Go drop me a follow regardless. My content's fucking sick. I'm about to blow up and I'm going to take over this space.